I just spent like 2 minutes unclogging a toilet. It was gross and shitty, obviously. Hey, welcome back to Specter of Torment. I'm Invisoguy, in case you didn't know. That's who I am. I'm Invisoguy. Invisoguy, look at my branding. I'm Invisoguy. So yeah. I don't remember if I mentioned this, but I think I've said that Specter of Torment is probably my least favorite. Maybe a better way to phrase it is it's my least favorite character-wise. Even though I fucking love Specter Knight and a lot of stuff about him, that moment in the last episode kind of throws redeemability out the window really bad for me. This area's cursed. Do careful stuff. Anyway, we just got, we're watch stoppers now. That moment really fucks up, like, my ability to relate and empathize with this character on a fundamental level. And maybe, like, it just shows, like, you get the impression that he's, like, a thief, and thieves generally aren't honorable, but you think Luan is an okay guy, and you assume that Donovan is an okay guy, because you're playing as him. But in that moment, he just fucking kills his partner for what is essentially a chance at immortality, which is or like whatever the fuck he thinks it is. And just it shows him to be like an inherently greedy and selfish character. And you know what, maybe that's like what makes his arc at the end of the day like actually impressive. And I'll probably think more on it, and then maybe I'll be like, "Bah, it's a great..." Like, honestly, this is coming from a point of, like, I don't have a lot of impressions on this game, aside from the ones that I have right now. So I could change my mind, like, tomorrow, because I've only played through this campaign a couple of times. And, I don't know, it really throws out redeemability, but, like, maybe it's just playing on the Torment, like, vibe that this whole campaign has, in that, like, it's scummy that he went and slashed his fucking partner in the chest for a really shitty chance of power or whatever. And God, it really fucks up the character for me. But I think the point is that he kind of immediately gets his comeuppance, and we'll see a bit more, like, specifically how that happens as the story unfolds. But yeah, at current time, I hate that moment in the story. I love the fucking confrontation between Shield Knight and Luan and Donovan, because it's this really cool story moment that builds the rest of the Shovel Knight narrative overall. And it's like, oh, that's really cool to see this moment, because this is like the Tower of Fate, and this is like what happened that started all this. But it's also just really shitty to see Specter or Donovan just cut his friend down, and that feels shitty. And it feels really... like, no reason. He says, "Get out of my way," and he's literally standing behind him. It'd be interesting. You know what I think? I'm sorry I'm talking about this so much and not reading the dialogue on screen, but this is an important story thing for me. It would make a lot of difference if Donovan, through that fight with Shield Knight, and maybe the fight with Shield Knight is supposed to give you the impression that she's not a pushover and she's really fucking tough. But if by the end of that fight, she was, like, weakened or whatever, and then Donovan goes to do the finishing blow, and then when he's about to, maybe Luan gets in his way. And then there's no, like, moral fault on Specter Knight. But then again, maybe the decision is that you're not supposed to be an exactly redeemable guy, and maybe you're not supposed to completely empathize with them. Because it's easy to identify with Shovel Knight and Plague Knight. Sorry I'm talking so much about story stuff, guys. If you want to skip past it, I'll include like a jump to point in the description. The reason it's so easy to identify with Plague Knight and Shovel Knight is because their desires are really clear and laid out, and a lot of people want those same things. Shovel Knight wants to save the person that he cares about. Plague Knight wants to be able to have the person he cares about care about him. to have the love go both ways. Not a lot of people can empathize with, I climbed a giant tower and I I slashed down my partner in order to get a chance at immortality. So, the motivations are a bit less easy to latch onto, but I think that's probably by design, and that's supposed to be the case. I think Specter Knight is not supposed to be a redeemable guy. You're not supposed to know a lot about him, and through those flashback things, you find out a lot more about the character you've been playing as, and you realize that, yeah, maybe he's not the best guy in the world, and he's a villain, and maybe that is well-suited. Anyway, welcome back, for those that wanted to skip past the story stuff. Are they bringing my bread out? I asked for bread. Everything up here takes forever. Could you go ask about the bread? Sure, buddy. Gilding is how you show the world you mean business. It's gilding. Do you have money for me? No. Okay. Have we talked to this person yet? Hang on. Okay, I skipped past all that dialogue. I'll talk to them again later. Sorry, guys. They're trying out the kiss of death. It didn't work. I guess I need training. And then they died. Okay, this is one of my favorite NPCs in the game, is the birder. How do I, no, stop, you're getting in the way. I want to talk to Birder. Woo, I'm bouncing off the walls, I love being a birder. That's so cute to me. I love that. I love Birder. Birder is cute. Anyway. Gall. My victim is supposed to die, not me. Now I'm double dead. Ah, well, practice makes perfect, eh, Spectre? Anyway. Sorry about that fucking huge story conversation. If you guys have any opinions about Specter of Torment and like maybe a bit more in-depth thoughts and more well-versed thoughts, if you will, let me know. And I'd love to have a discussion about it because I find that stuff really fascinating, personally. So we're gonna do Treasure Night next. Another one of my favorite levels in terms of like what's different about it from the original. You sure you want to go to the Iron Whale, underling? Reese, you fuck. Stop being a bitch. Stop being a huge emo bitch. Alright. Blight the Earth. Welcome back. My voice might start getting a little fucky this episode. Because my voice is a little fucky this episode. So right away, this level starts out above the surface, and I find it really cool. Like, you get this kind of beach environment, you see a bunch of islands in the background, I think it's neat. And they have, this movable version. I love that they, like, there's a very simple mechanic of movement that Specter Knight's campaign relies on, and I love that they put twists on it in, like, Mole Knight's level, where they let you goo up the little lanterns. In this one, they let you move the lanterns. And so it just adds this subtle little difference, but, like, they make for interesting platforming moments. And it doesn't become stagnant in, like, any way, in my opinion, of course. Oh, and this is really cool. This background's really cool to me because you can see some kind of castle. Maybe it's King Knight's stage. It might be Plague Knight's Explodatorium. You can see, like, fucking cool castles in the background. And this is, like, I said this in the last episode, but that was really dumb. Alright, fast forward. Past the dumb. Okay, welcome back to dumb. We're back. But yeah, I was talking about this in the other episode, but I think this is one of the instances. I think this campaign in particular is one of the best things to play on the 3DS because all of the backgrounds are fucking gorgeous. They've clearly, like, they've done a lot with the game and made a lot more visually appealing bits. And I'm not going to wait for this hermit crab to get all the way down here. In particular, this background coming up is really fucking pretty, and you get a really good sense of depth in the 3DS version of the game. And it's hard to express that same thing in a 2D plane. Okay, we'll get a good look at the background in a bit. What was I talking about? Oh. But yeah, maybe I'll ruminate a bit more on this as I play through this campaign, but I do really think that moment kind of fucks over Specter Knight. And I do think, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, because I probably am. Oh, look at this background. Look at how good it looks. It's really hard to express how much better it looks in 3D than in this regular version. If you don't own if you don't own Shovel Knight on 3DS, I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's a great version of the game, and you can have it on the go. Maybe I'm just pushing it because that was my first version, and I have a lot of sentimental attachment to it because I had no expectations for Shovel Knight, and it super blew my expectations out of the water. Get it? Anyway. But yeah, in the background you can see like ships and stuff, and it's really cool and neat, and holy shit, my throat is already really bad. I fucked up. I don't know if I can live with myself if I don't get that red skull. And we got it. And I probably fast-forwarded through it. If I didn't, then, hey, editor me, this is your cue to fucking fast-forward through it. You bitch. Don't call your editor self a bitch. That'll get bad later. Fun fact, editor selves have very little patience for past selves. Or that, at least that's my experience. Oh, that's another thing that I should explain. I think, honestly, maybe my fondness for Plague of Shadows is because I had absolutely no expectations. I was like, whatever, Plague Knight? Plague Knight isn't my favorite, like, I want the Specter Knight campaign, brr, 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 and I was, like, waiting on that. And I was like, fuck, that kind of sucks. That Plague Knight is first. Whatever, I'll play it, because it's Shovel Knight. And then I played it, and I was like, okay, there's something really interesting going on here. They know how to spin a story and do really cool things with their characters and their world. And I had no expectations going into Plague of Shadows, but I had a lot of expectations post Plague of Shadows going into Specter of Torment because I love Plague of Shadows so fucking much. And then maybe it's just really hard to live up to those types of expectations. Like, honestly, Yacht Club, if you're listening, I think Plague of Shadows was a fucking gorgeous fucking DLC. As I've said before, it's like probably my favorite additional content to any game ever. Specter of Torment is close. It's on, even though, like, I'm saying all these things, I don't want to give the impression that I don't like it. I like it a lot, but I just don't think it has the same story beats that really resonated with me the same way that Plague of Shadows did. But I still think it's a fucking great DLC. All of the levels are amazing, the remixes are amazing, the moveset is fucking fun as hell, all the gameplay is clearly really well fucking polished, and it just feels really good. But yeah, it just didn't have the same story beats that I was looking for. But like, who am I to fucking criticize? I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm criticizing them, because I don't want to sound that way, because they know what they're doing. I crazy super don't. I love you, Yacht Club. Don't ever think that I don't love you. Okay, time to get fucked up by a fish. Fish politics, guys. Let's get into it. Oh god, that was really dumb. Time to fast forward. Okay, and we're at a boss fight. I feel like I'm gonna spend this entire episode trying to dial back on the things that I said in the very beginning of it. But I don't think anything I said is untrue. Or untrue for me personally, anyway. Oh, by the way, if my voice sounds weird, and it's because I ate a lozenge. Or I took a lozenge in between those moments. Because my throat hurts, and talking hard, and... there's a noticeably different tone, it's because I took a break. Because honestly, I didn't know what else to say. Gulper Mage! I love Gulper Mage. I drew them. They're cool. I feel like I'm running out of stuff to say. I don't want to spend this entire video feeling like I'm shitting on Specter of Torment, because I fucking love Specter of Torment a lot. I think the way it measures out is I like Plague of Shadows. Character-wise, I like Plague Knight. He's a lot more endearing as a straight-up villain character. Even though, like, Specter Knight is begrudgingly a villain, and Plague Knight is exclusively embracing the villainous role, I find Plague Knight a lot more endearing, which says a lot about Yacht Club's writing, in that they were able to make a villainous character feel redeeming. I don't know. I feel bad because I really like Shovel Knight, but I don't know what else to say. Let's talk about this remix. How good is this remix? It's good. In case you were wondering, the amount of goodness, very, and good. What else can I talk about? Oh, driving school is boring. Having not been in a classroom setting for many years, it's still boring. You still sit at the back of the class and you try not to fall asleep, and you listen to stuff, and people are idiots. Hey, guess what? 16, 17-year-olds. I know this is, like, primary audience for gameplay videos on the internet, but, oh god! Hey, you guys think you're cool and you're not. You know what? That's really dismissive. Maybe some of you are cool, but the people in my driving class are not. Oh god, look at this backdrop behind this window. It's really cool. Also, let's talk about this fish person who is so fucking clearly Super Mario Bros. 3 enemy, but I think you can actually kill the fish in Super Mario Bros. 3. I think this is so clearly inspired by Super Mario Bros. 3, right? Yacht Club, I'm looking at you. Oh, you can kill him. It's just blatant. It's blatant, and that's fine, because that's a really good mechanic to have for one screen. Is being scared of a fish man who's gonna kill you real bad. I hate fish man that are gonna kill me real bad. They're the worst. Oh god. Alright. Come on, Anchorman. Wait, isn't that a movie? That's a movie. I've seen that movie. I'll be totally honest. I don't like... Anchorman is pretty good. I say pretty good. It's not the best. I like that fight scene. It's about where it ends for me. Because that fight scene is ridiculous, and it plays on that. It's like, this is ridiculous as fuck. How ridiculous is it? And then it shows you how ridiculous it is. Unpopular opinion, I don't like Will Ferrell as an actor. He was good in Elf and in Megamind. You know why? Because he didn't play fucking Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is just an okay comedian. He just plays the same fucking goofy guy in every single movie that he's in. And I don't like when actors just play their same fucking role in every movie. Especially when it's just, oh, he's a big adult man who's silly and stupid a little bit and dumb and out of his time and he should be more mature than he is because he's so old. Haha, isn't that funny? Which I guess he kind of plays an elf, but they kind of spin it in a way that's like, oh, this makes sense for the context of the story. God, I just remember so many people in high school and stuff being fucking crazy about Will Ferrell. They're like, every Will Ferrell movie is great. And then we went and we saw Step Brothers, and maybe my opinion would change if I watched it now, but I was like, this is whatever. I just bought my ship at the service and already have quite a beggar on board. I'm not here for a handout. Ugh. I'm not here for a handout. Instead, I bring a proposition. Unrestricted salvage rights, and a place at the Enchantress. Places the Enchantress's financier. I won't gladly spend gold to make gold, but how can I take your word for my investment would be secure? Our deals go far beyond words. Behold a glimpse of the power she commands. This is one of the only exchanges in which it makes sense to me why Charger Knight joins, because he's like, oh, I'll spend gold to make gold. And then it's like, well, our deals go far beyond that. Hey, guess what? Oh, this is really cool. You get to fight, you get to see what fucking Treasure Knight fights like. in not water, because you're not deep underground, you're near the surface, and I think that's really cool for a boss remix. It's too bad that he's gonna die in a second. Fuck. Of course, saying that he was gonna die in a... Oh, there we go. I almost jinxed myself, guys. I almost did it. Hooray, we killed Treasure Knight, and now he's gonna be our tax man. He's gonna... Wait. Am I crazy, or is there... There is. Okay, so this is probably the best point to point out where that you can see the Enchantress's army slowly growing. You can see the volcano in the background for Mole Knight. You can see the Iron Whale for Treasure Knight. You can see the Lich Yard. You can see the Explodatorium. You can see King Knight stage, and you can see the Aurora Borealis for that other guy. Yo, what up, Red? How it grows cold? Have you located new curios? But have you found any red skulls? Alright, best item in the game. Phase Locket of this game. So there are items that I'm about to get that very much make, and I think it's a really cool way to do it. You get items that essentially make you into the boss, Specter Knight into the boss that he becomes. So like, as you can see, he gets this feather that lets him kind of like float all mystically like that. And it's so clearly, I wonder if you overlaid his boss sprite onto this, it would look identical. I'm curious about that. Maybe do it. Do it. Yeah. And then there's another item, which is my fucking favorite item in the game because it's so goddamn cool, that we'll get later that, we'll see. We'll see how that, makes him boss-ish. Anyway, use it wisely. Did we miss a thing? Nope. Let's go talk to Treasure Knight, and then I will break for the next episode. Hey, what up, Treasure Knight? I was told there was a banquet hall. This is a travesty. The only thing fit to order here is a complete renovation. Treasure Knight proves himself to be a very, picky individual, and he likes to live large. Ah, Spectre, I'm working on my technique for a killer new move. Brace yourself for the kiss of death. What, wait, just a... It didn't work. Oh god! So I think that's pretty neat that it just straight out fucking murders you. Yes, it worked. Sorry about that, Spectre. I'll find a hero to use it on next time. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, gee, thanks. Go for Mage. No, come back. I want to talk to you. You're my favorite. No. Oh, no. Whoops. Whoops. I tried to do this and say, well, whatever, I didn't want to talk to you anyway. Then I went down the ladder like 3 times, and so it didn't work. Anyway, I'm gonna break for an episode, and hopefully, people outside are gonna stop fucking talking kinda loud, because that's really not conducive to good recordings. Anyway, I will catch you guys on the next episode, and we're gonna go see Tinker Knight. Catch you guys next time. Bye!